Welcome back, everybody. My name's Andrew and you're watching the Kelly's Country Life. So today, judging by the title that you just read, yes, we're going to be planting peppers and pine trees. Very weird, I know, but we're going to cover two things in this episode that I've had people ask me about. So I've been telling you about this little side raised bed garden that I have. It's in bad shape. We've got to clean it up, spruce it back up, get some compost in it, and we're going to turn this into my little pepper bed. I don't mind planting it outside the fence back there because animals tend to not mess with peppers at all. Also in this episode, I planted some pine trees a while back for privacy, lost a few, had to do some transplanting, and a lot of people have asked for an update on that. I still have a couple that aren't making it with no backup trees, so I'm experimenting this year. I've done something. I'm going to show you all what I've did. We're actually going to try planting some pine trees from seed. Brand new for me, so we'll do that toward the end of the video. First, let's get some peppers in the ground. I've had people ask me if I've found worms in my compost. Yep, been finding them. That and grubs. So that's a good sign. So I saved these trays and tray holder from some peppers that I did last year because I knew I was going to have a project for them this year. So while I got this compost right here, before I go dump the rest of it back, we're going to pack these full, and I'll show you at the end of the video what we're going to do with this. Alright, as y'all heard me say in the last episode, I have been struggling to find pepper plants. Couldn't hardly find them anywhere. Finally a friend called and said, hey, located some in town. So I kind of loaded up. Typically I do even more than this, but last year kind of overplanted, to be honest. We wound up just letting peppers go. We had so many. So I've got some green bell peppers, one of our favorite, about a dozen of those plants. I've got some banana peppers and a few jalapenos. Also, I grabbed something else that we'll go put in the main garden, which I've never done before, and I'll explain why. Now next year my plan is to get either one of those little indoor greenhouses to start peppers from seed, or Hopefully by then, maybe we've had a greenhouse built or a high tunnel. I've kind of been dreaming about one of those. Because really, should have started pepper seeds about a month and a half ago here. We were still getting a lot of frost. And you could save a pile of money starting from seed versus plant. But in the big scheme of things, it really doesn't cost that much. I think I have $15 or $18 in all these pepper plants here. Yeah, that's far more than seed cost, no doubt. But at the end of the day, I could spend $15 at a grocery store real quick just grabbing a handful of vegetables and peppers. All right, well, here's the little pepper bed started, but not complete. I have more plans for this a little later down the road. So I've got about a dozen green bell peppers. We love bell peppers, our must-use pepper. A couple rows of banana peppers, excellent tasting, and a couple rows of jalapenos. Like I said, we're saving this space for something else. I'll talk about it here in just a minute. We've got to head out to the garden and do something I have never done before. All right, so you're probably wondering, what have I never done before? And that's buy vegetable plants. Never done it. That's where you can spend a pile of money versus buying seeds. For the $2 I spent on these, yes, not bad. I could have bought probably, I don't know, 50 or 100 cucumber seeds. But here's the reason I did this. If you can hear me with all this wind, I have not been able to find burpless cucumber seeds at all this year. That's what I typically buy. Cucumbers tend to kind of bother Tiffany, as they do a lot of people, so I try to get the burpless kind, but couldn't find them. So today when I was buying pepper plants, I seen they had a 4-pack, which is exactly how many plants I need of burpless cucumbers. Still no seed, so I said, heck with it. Let me buy the plants and try it. I still have some cucumber seed in the ground, so if for some reason these don't make it, the seeds come up. They're a different variety, the straight 8 variety, but this is what I was really wanting. So let's put them in. All right, so here's something a little wild and crazy I've tried. Never done this before, but read about it online. I went out and picked some pine cones a while back because I ran short on trees. And you have to pick them when they're closed like this. These little sand pines don't put on big pine cones. So I've let them sit in here and dry for a while. Some have opened up, a lot didn't. But here's the cool thing. Once they open up like this one, they'll start dropping out pine tree seeds. I didn't even know about this. So it is so hard to see. But there's one of them right there. That is what's all up inside this pine cone. So what I'm going to do is go through and pick out as many of these as I can. We're going to go out and plant some, see if we can get them started. And if we can, we'll go transplant some more pine trees in an upcoming episode. Otherwise, we'll just stick these off in the woods and have some transplants for later, assuming we lose some more pines. So let me dig through and find all the seeds that I can. All right, well, I'm done digging through, and while I didn't set any records for my first ever pine tree seed harvest, I'm happy. There's probably 20 or so seeds in there. So if half of these come up, I'll be in good shape. All right, I'm definitely no expert when it comes to this. So all I'm going to do is take these little vegetable trays or pepper trays that are filled with compost. I'm going to put one of these seeds in each one of them. I don't really know how far. I'm not going to go too far because they're so tiny. And there goes one of my seeds. Good old wind. So Tiffany had someone give her some red and yellow pepper seed. I'm assuming this is bell pepper. That's what the seeds look like. And yes, it's way too late in the year to really be starting my seed. However, peppers grow here all the way into December unless we get really early frost. So I'm going to plant some of these, and if they come up, great. Now I've got a different color and variety to stick over here in the garden. That's the fun of gardening to me. I don't have to be perfect about none of this. I just love experimenting. So that is where my little peppers and pine trees are going to sit for now. And you're probably wondering, why in the heck didn't I just put the seeds in the dirt and let them grow? Because this is still March and I'm still worried we're going to get another frost. And if we do, it's going to be nice to be able to grab those, tote them right inside to get them out of the frost. And then once these grow up and establish a good root system, real quick and easy just to transplant them. So the last thing to do now is put tomato cages around my peppers. I love doing that because peppers tend to blow over once they get a lot of weight of peppers on them. Then just water everything in. Now while I'm watering these in, this will be a good time to address a concern that y'all all had. Why am I not planting tomatoes? Oh, that's been a common question and one I forgot to address the last gardening episode because I knew it would come up. I don't like tomatoes. I like them cooked. I like tomato sauce. So yeah, I need to grow some tomatoes to experiment with that. But raw tomatoes, and the main reason you kind of grow them on the plant, I just don't like them. I wish I did. I love vegetables, and I know that's kind of a fruit they call it. But I just have yet to develop a taste for it. I can eat just about everything else. It's not tomatoes. Okay, so to wrap this video up, a lot of people have asked about these pine trees I've planted. And if you're new to the channel, our property actually stops just on the other side of those pine trees. And as you can see, there's a little road that was put in last year. An easement was put in when this piece of property sold. We tried to buy to that tree line so we could have complete privacy in this field, but it just did not work out. They did not want to subdivide the property. So this easement right here goes to 80 acres that's landlocked in the back, and nobody lives on it. They just kind of hunt and use it for, you know, recreational property. So there's you know, a minor amount of traffic in and out. But we decided we want to plant some pine trees and sacrifice part of our pasture. So whenever these grow up, these are the same type as these sand pines. They give you a lot of privacy. We would get privacy. Now it's going to take them another 2 to 3 years before we get that privacy, but we figured we'd get a jump on it last year. So I had a pretty big section through here that did not make it. We had a bad drought last January or February whenever I planted these, and quite a few of them died. So I planted some on the back side of the field last year when I had extras, dug those up just about a month or two ago and transplanted them. And a lot of people have been asking, how are they doing? Well, for the most part, really good. With the exception of this one right here did not make it, and I'm really thinking it's because 95% of the day it's in the shade. It's getting no sunlight other than right here late afternoon. But that's okay. If this one makes it, it looks nice and healthy. This one keeps bushing out. Eventually that gap will close up. Or if I get some transplants to grow, or seeds that we just done, I'll plant them out here. Now walking along, everything else is good. I didn't actually transplant through here, but I do have one of the original ones that's not making it. So I need another seedling there. Starting right here is where I started transplanting. And every single one of these, except one, has made it, and they're looking good. You can see they're putting on a lot of growth right there. That is all brand new growth in the last few weeks. So they're putting on several inches. It wouldn't surprise me if these all wind up putting on close to a foot this year, and then they'll explode next year or grow even more than that. So this is all my transplants doing really good. From the second day after I planted this one, I could tell something was wrong. It just kept drooping. I've been watering it in, but when I dug all these up, I did cut a lot of roots. They were already grown way out, so the shovel damaged a lot of them, and I was worried I was going to lose more than the only 2 that I've lost. Other than that, they all look awesome, healthy, green. The way you can really tell a pine tree is doing good is if the needles are standing up, not drooping down. These all look great as far as you can see. So I've still got 10 or 12 spots throughout the field that I could use some more. That's why I'm hoping these little seeds grow. But overall, I'm happy. These are still planted probably a little closer than they need to be, because once they grow up and bush out, they will close up gaps that are in between. But I'm still going to try to keep planting these. Just want to show y'all all this new growth that's coming on these. Spring is definitely in the air. This is why I have so much pollen around the property. Pine trees put off a tremendous amount of pollen, and as y'all can see, we have thousands of them. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. I know gardening videos aren't the most popular on the channel, but it's something I'm passionate about, enjoy doing. It's just an awesome feeling to put in all this hard work, come out day after day looking, waiting, and finally seeing that first plant breaking through. It's an exciting feeling to me. Plus, we just love the way vegetables taste out of the garden. So it is something I will include every so often. Probably one of the next videos is going to be very exciting. We're pouring concrete tomorrow. Very excited about that. I'll get that video edited up out on the channel, and we'll keep y'all in the loop on this house build as it's happening. As you can see behind me, everything is greening up like crazy. Although we just had a cold front come through today, it's going to cool off the next few days, so growth may slow down a little bit. What I'm trying to say is mowing's coming up. So if y'all want to see some tractor videos and me trying my hardest to make mowing interesting, there'll be some of those videos coming out as well. So gardening, housework, mowing coming up, lots of other projects. Got to finish the storm shelter now that we're finally getting contractors away and I'm getting a clear background with no noise. Storm shelter is getting complete. We're going to go do all those little fine details. So for those of y'all been waiting for that, those videos are coming as well. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. So as y'all heard me say in the last episode, I have been struggling on finding pepper plants. My plan is, it never fails. If I start talking, something loud's gonna drive by. Okay, let's try this again. I can't win today, can I? I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get this recorded. Come on, wind. Killing me. Holy moly. Come on, man. Work with me, camera. Work with me. All right, so what have I never done before? Bought vegetable plants. Never in my life can I remember ever doing that. That's where you really spend some money. I always buy... You gotta be kidding me. Another super loud car. Well, wait a minute. I live in the middle of nowhere. Okay, let's try again. So guess what I did? I planted my cucumbers on the side that I planted cucumbers. Nope, this is the side I planted cantaloupes on. That's the side I planted cucumbers on. So I guess I'm digging these up and moving them. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's little video. I know garden videos aren't the most popular, but it's something I'm passionate about, enjoy doing, and want to include on the channel. And I know there's several of y'all that do enjoy that.